In this photograph that you see in front of you of the Bay Tree restaurant, which it is today, it was not that back in mid-1930s, I would say, when Mrs. Vale took over the little part of the shop that you see now to the right-hand side. And she ran it as a sweet shop and cigarettes and newspaper and other little items that you could get in the village. And she moved here with her son, John, from Windsor. John and I were at school together, same class, so we got to know each other quite well. Next door, where you see the sign Bay Street, the Bay Tree rather, there was a door to the left, which is now part of the bow window, and you went down 3 steps into a shoe repair department, where the gentleman who was the shoe repairer and maker could fully resole shoes, new heels, and he ran the business up and through the war, and then after the war that sort of folded up, and also Mrs. Vale folded up as well. One thing about Mrs. Vale, and she and the boys and girls of the village loved it because she had a bran tub. Now, it wasn't filled with bran, it was filled with sawdust, but buried in the sawdust were goodies, and it was like a tuppence goodie. And you gave her your tuppence, and then you plunged your arm in and felt around to find the biggest object you could find, or something that felt like something that John had told his mates at school his mother had put in there. And so that was it, a tuppenny dip in the bran tub. Marvellous thing. And I'll go into later Annie Slack down the road from here also had a bran tub, and she was always vying for competition with Mrs. Vale. Afterwards it changed, and the two came together, and Reg and Maggie Moon took over the shop as a restaurant, and it was very, very popular. And of course they had the Torquil pottery just down the road. And sadly they moved off to Aston-under-Lyme, and they were sadly missed. Then it took on the Three Roses restaurant, which was very popular in the village. And as a matter of fact, I'd had several evening meals there myself when visiting Cookham in the past. After that, sadly, I lost touch, except through Cookham.com. I noticed that it has changed hands many times, but I still have fond memories of it as Mrs. Vale's Sweet Shop. Hope you enjoy this.